Okay, post-midterm test for Math 7. And I'm going to go through all 10 questions. The first one, a clothing store paid an import tax of $7 on a shipment of $700 worth of silk scarves. If the import tax is always the same, what would be the value of the silk scarves to have an import tax of $152? You got to set up a proportion for this. I guess you don't have to, but it works out a lot better. And I would say, well, first off, a proportion is two equal fractions. So the import tax will be my numerator, and the shipment, uh, yeah, or shipment value, shipment value will be on the numerator. And I'm just setting it up this way. So anything with tax, so $7 tax on a shipment of $708. If the import tax rate is always the same, so if your import tax is $152, what would be the shipment value? See, so there you go. And what you do is you multiply, cross multiply, 152 times 708. 152 times 708 is that big number. So that's 107,616 divided by the other number, 7. Divided by 7 is that number. Hey, it looks like D. There you go. I guess I'll write $15,373.71. There you go. Okay. To simplify, you got to use the order of operations. Parentheses, okay, we do have parentheses, but there's nothing to do in each of the parentheses. So we would now, since there's no operation in between, we multiply these two numbers. And -3 times 2, that is -6. And we have 10 plus -6 minus 16. 10 plus -6, that is 4. And 4 minus 16, that's -12. So that's what we get. So to simplify is to put everything together that you can and we can until we get to a single number. Number 3. This, that's, again, order of operations. It's 4 times all the stuff in the parentheses. So I would distribute the 4. 4 times x is 4x minus 4 times 1 is 4. And I have the 8 in the plus and the minus 5x. And then I would combine my like terms. 4x minus 5x. Well, 4 minus 5 is -1, x. And then I have 8 minus 4. 8 minus 4 is 4. And I have -x minus 4, or I can write that as -x minus 4. And usually this one is more widely accepted, even though they are the same thing. Okay, solve the proportion. Well, this one is similar to this right here. We would use the same kind of thing where we'd multiply 15 times 7. All right, 15 times 7 is 105. And 105 divided by 17 is 250. No way. It can't be. That's wrong. Let's try it again. Because when you divide by 17, you should end up with a number smaller than 105. So 105 divided by 17 is, there we go, 6.1. And it says round to the nearest tenth if necessary. And it looks like this decimal goes pretty far here. So I'm limiting it. The tenths place is this 1. So we have to look at the 7. That's 5 or more. So that goes up to 6.2. 6.2 would be our correct answer. Okay, and this one, $85 coat is on sale for $68. What is the percent discount? Well, this is the percent change. We would subtract 85 minus 68 and divide by the first number given, 85. So 85 minus 68. 85 minus 68 is 17. And divide by 85. So 17, and I used to keep this here, and then divide by 85 is 0.2. 0.2. And to turn this into a percent, you have to move it 2 times to the right. So that is equal to 20% discount. All right, this one, that's an N right there. It's kind of small. we're going to solve for n using inverse operations. The inverse of subtracting is adding. 4. And I have n over 10. N divided by 10 is equal to 13. And since that's division, we're going to multiply. So n is going to be 13 times 10, which is 130. And this is pretty easy to check also. N divided by 10. So if n is 130, then I would take 130 divided by 10 minus 4. And 130 divided by 10 is 13 minus 4. Well, yeah, that gets us to 9, which is our target. So that works. That means that that is definitely the solution. Number 7, Chris got a loan for a $24,000 car. She had to pay a simple interest rate of 6% for 4 years. How much money did she end up paying for the car at the end of 4 years? Well, this is the principal. That's the amount that you start with. The rate is that, and the time is 4 years. So we have to pay back the principal. If you borrow $24,000, you have to pay back the $24,000. So you have to pay back the principal plus the interest. And the interest is calculated as plus the interest is the principal, again, times so I'll put parentheses, so you're going to be multiplying all these together, times the interest rate, which is 6%, but that needs to be written as a decimal. So that's 0.06 as a decimal, times the time, which is 4 years. So we have to multiply these together, and that tells me how much interest I have to pay plus the principal. And the interest is a percentage of what you borrowed. So I'm going to multiply these items first. 24,000 times 0.06 times 4 is $5,760. So that's the interest right there. I'll write that $5,760 plus the 24,000, and so plus the $24,000 that you borrowed, and there you go, $29,760. $29,760 total. That is not a very good 29. Okay. So that's our final answer. I'm going to write that a little bit clearer. $29,760. Okay. Number 8. Again, as we did earlier over here, we're using inverse operations. So the inverse of adding 6 is subtracting 6. And I have negative 4x is equal to, same sign here, you have to add them up and keep that sign. And then I have to divide by negative 4. And x is equal to, well, 16 divided by 4 is 4, and a negative divided by a negative is a positive. So it's x is negative 4. I'm sorry, x is positive 4. And I could put this back in here. Negative 4 times x, which is 4, plus 6. Well, that's negative 16 plus 6, and negative 16 plus 6 is negative 10. And that is our target that we're trying to reach. So that tells us that that is the correct solution. This one, now you could do this 2 ways, and I will do it 2 ways. I'll write it a second time here. So you could divide by 9, because that's multiplication, and you're undoing it by divided by 9. And I have y minus 3 is equal to negative 10, and then I could add 3, and y is equal to negative 7. So there it is. Or you could do this. You could distribute. 9 times y is 9y, minus 9 times 3 is 27, equals negative 90. And then I would add, just like I was doing here, the same kind of thing. I would add 27. 9y equals, well, let's see, I have to subtract these here because they're different signs. It's negative. And 10 minus 7 is 3. And this is 8 minus 2 is 63. And then I divide both sides by 9. And negative 63 divided by 9 is -7. And see, you get the same answer no matter what you do. It's just which way do you feel like doing it? Okay, last one. 12 slices cost $3. What's the cost per slice? So I have to cost per slice. So the cost for 12 slices is $3, and the number of slices is 12. So I have 3 divided by 12. Now, 3 divided by 12, that simplifies to 1/4. And 1/4 is a quarter, which is 25 cents. Oops. Now, using a calculator, that's a weird looking too. Now, doing this, I could just start right here, 3 divided by 12, and I could punch it in the calculator, 3 divided by 12, and there's the 0.25. So that's 0.25. So the cost per slice is 25 cents. That looks like a deal to me. All right, so that's what you got to know about this post midterm test and all the practice problems. And that's it. Thanks for watching.